Hello happy people of the internet, and welcome back for another video. Today we're going to be looking at the M-Audio Firewire sound card. It's not the project that I wanted to focus on, but unfortunately it's starting to really stink. Yeah, there's some foul smell coming out of the box, and I think that the coffee that met the sound card is making something inside rot. So yeah, lots of fun ahead. So for those of you that haven't seen the previous video where we discussed this, I bought this from a band. They used it for their performances and for their rehearsals, and at some stage it got coffee spilt over it, and yeah, from what I've been told, it doesn't work anymore. So yeah, let's get this box open and see what kind of fun we're in. What kind of surprises there are for us. Okay, Firewire cable, which we won't need for now. Power supply we will need, and then of course the device itself. Okay, get rid of the box. Okay, so you can see on the front it's pretty stained with coffee, but that is metal, so that should clean up nicely. The top is also a bit stained with coffee, but it's all metal construction, so the outside should clean up nicely. It's more the inside. Yeah, oh, it is. I can't describe the smell. It's not something that I've smelled before, but yeah. Okay. Now I've been told that they did observe that when the coffee was spilt, that there was a sound, bang, whatever. So let's just get this plugged in here. And if we switch on there, then switch on here, we should see a blue flashing light here while it looks for a Firewire post controller. I'm not going to switch on the phantom power just in case it does put 48 volts down somewhere funny, but we've neither got a flashing light nor a solid light. So yeah, this in my books is dead. Okay, so let's kill that there. Get that there. Just get this plug out. Okay, and I'll switch that off. Okay, so let's get it open. I've had a look at the screws. It looks like it's pretty standard. So what is this? So Phillips 1 for the top. 3 screws on the top. I don't know what kind of screws are in the inside. We will see just now. Magnetic screw dish. Okay, 1, 2. Oh, the other thing is, if I bring this up really close to the camera, And if the camera decides to focus, then you can see the coffee there, yeah, really bad. But also what I'm trying to show is that the screws have got no sign of wear, so I don't think anybody's even attempted to open this and yeah, attempt to fix. Let's get that focus back. Okay, and then screw number 3. Okay, so that's the 3 from the lid. Does the lid come free? Not yet. Okay, so I think we do our knobs. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 knobs, nothing else, nothing else. And then the front panel is a 2mm hex or Allen key. And there are 4 of those, 1 in each corner. Oh, okay, the smell. There are other things I'd rather be showing you guys, but other projects which I think are more interesting, but let's get this one sorted. I actually really want to use this, especially the line in, because you've got a gain, which normal sound cards don't have. And that is just super useful for digital radio decoding. Okay, so we've got the front plate, that's come off, so that should be fairly easy to clean. Now I think the top will come off, so yeah, that will come off, we can clean that. Okay, there we can see what is happening. So, okay, lovely. Okay, so coffee has met the hair, dust, what have you, and that is probably starting to corrode and rot away. This is way worse than I was expecting, but we'll give it a good wash and let's see what we can do with it. Okay, it's got 2 PCBs connected with pins. It's not a design I particularly like. Partly because it's the design that I injure myself so often on, but nonetheless. Okay, so that's 3 screws from there. Now, this top board, I think I can just, yep, there it comes. You know what? There's no ways that I'm carrying on like this. I'll be back in a moment. Okay, I'm back. I decided to put on some gloves. It's not something I often do, but it's not something I ever do really, but this is This is a bit icky. Okay, so let's just carry on getting this disassembled. Okay. Oh, so yeah, lots of nice stuff here. Oh, it's hair. See, they travelled with this and clean underneath, but dirty on top, full of rubbish. The group travelled with this, and yeah, who knows where it's been. Okay, I'm just going to dispose of this on the side here. Okay, now we can have a good look at the bottom. Yeah, I'm going to have to wash this, get rid of that bit. Okay, but we've got to get that board out first. I'm noticing a ribbon cable here. So let's see how that comes off. So it looks like more silvery, and then 3 golds, with the silvery one to my left. So when that goes back on, silvery one to my left. That has got a single screw on the back holding it in. Let me take out the optical connector protectors. And then we get that screw out for the digital coax. And yes. Okay, so we've got one little baby board. And now to get you out, let's have a look. 5 screws underneath and a foot that is moved. I'm just going to stick that back where it belongs quickly. Okay, and these, I fear, may be turning on the other side. Yep, so I need a nut setter. A nut setter. I need a nut setter. There we go. Okay, there's the nut. And where did the screw go? Got the screw. Okay, nut and screw. I think I'm going to start separating these. Just don't lose track. Now where is your nut? Don't know. I don't know where your nut is. Right. Gonna have to. Okay, screw number 2. And that's out, and your nut is going to come out. Come on. Almost. closed. There we go. Oh, and I dropped it inside. Let's flip you over, get you out quick. Okay. There's number 2. Now where's 3, 4, and 5 hiding? Oh, they're going up into those brackets. Okay, interesting. Okay, so from the back, all the brackets are open to the right. Okay. Okay. Don't think it particularly matters. Okay, so we've got a bracket there and a screw there. Bracket here and a screw here. Screw there. And the last one, bracket and a screw. Okay, and this now doesn't have anything else holding it, so this should just lift out. Should just lift out. Yep. I don't want to. Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay. So there's the housing is not too bad. It's mainly on top of this main board and a bit underneath. Okay. So I think first things first, everything needs to get a good wash in some hot soapy water. Okay, I'll be right back. Hiya folks, I'm back. I've got a tub full of hot soapy water. So I am going to start with the items that I'm the most worried about. So let's get this PC board right in here, and oh, I could have made that a bit cooler. Yeah, hot, hot, hot. Okay, and let's just give this a gentle scrubberoo. Gentle scrubberoo. Okay, and just have a look. We'll give this a wash in isopropyl alcohol later. This is just to get the main gunk off, which has actually come off remarkably easily. That in there too long. Top cover. Top PCB. Front cover. that's come out nice and clean. No signs of coffee. So coffee can be a bugger, especially on plastic. If it's left, it can really stain, and yeah, then you're into things like retro writing to get it clean and that. But luckily, everything that we're dealing with is metal, and all the insides of the ports I will do with cotton swabs and IPA, because who knows what kind of rubbish is inside there. Okay, so that's the little digital coax, the ribbon cable. Just going to give a bit of a wipe with my fingers. I'm not going to submerge that. Yeah, I'm not going to do more than that. Okay, and the knobs. That's all they need is a rinse. Okay, and that's it. Okay, I'm going to give the boards a quick IPA wash. Okay, we've given everything a good thorough wash with hot soapy water. That got rid of most of the gunk and now we've given the PCBs a good thorough wash with isopropyl alcohol as well. They'll need to dry now, so I'm going to go and stick them in the sun for a while, a good while, just to make sure they're totally dry, and then it will be up to the microscope to have a look at the boards and see if we can find the actual electrical fault that's causing this to not switch on. Yeah, so I'll speak to you guys just now when we're under the microscope.
Okay, so here we are under the microscope. I put power in through the barrel jack, tested for power further up on the circuit, and I quickly saw that I wasn't getting any current past D202. Both diodes are the same, they're general purpose Schottky diodes, and are most likely here for polarity protection. So here we see D201 also not getting a reading across, so no currents going through there either. Okay, so while I quickly double check these diodes in reverse polarity, so these are S4s which have got a 40 volt reverse voltage rating. So what I believe happened is that the 48 volts for the microphone phantom power probably got onto this rail, which exceeds the 40 volts reverse voltage rating, and the diodes broke down. Okay, just had to turn the board for easier access. So coming in with my micro tweezers, and you can get D202 off with no problems because that's right on the edge of the board. D201 is really wedged in there. It's got big components all around. You can see that my tweezers are touching everything, so I couldn't get that out. So at this stage I thought, well, if I can get voltage working through D202, i.e. through the barrel jack, at least we can get the unit powered on and tested, and then I can handle the Firewire power at a later stage. So here I'm just adding some flux. And then I'm coming in with some solder braid to clean up the pads. And then some IPA on a cotton swab just to get rid of the worst of the flux residue. Then I'm coming in with some solder paste. I used solder paste instead of normal solder, because the diode's legs are actually under the diode, and I can't get in here with hot air because of the barrel jack. So I'm literally just putting a donor diode that I took off another board in just putting that into the solder paste. Then holding it down with a pair of tweezers, just applying heat. So the right side is taken there, and then just doing the left side. And then coming in with some IPA to clean up the worst of the flux residue. And now if we test from the back of the barrel jack to the diode, we can see that we've got current flow. So that's checking not only the diode, but also checking my solder joints. So that diode has seated correctly, even though it's not perfectly straight. So if there are no problems further up on the board, replacing that diode should allow us to switch the units on.
Welcome back, everybody. We are back for assembly. So we've had the board under the microscope. We found that there was no power pretty much getting anywhere onto the board because of two diodes. We managed to replace the one. If I put it all together, and it works all right with the barrel connector power, then I'll know that it's worth the effort to basically desolder all these big components so that I can get in and replace the other diode so that it can run from Firewire power. So let us start getting it back together, which is pretty much the reverse of how we took it apart. Okay, so if I start with the before I do that, I quickly want to use some contact cleaner on all the ports. That's just the last step. I did give them a bit of a wipe with IPA. And all these pots can't get in there. They're all sealed. Switches. Well, let's see how it goes. Let us see how it goes. Okay. So that is ready to slide back in. And let's make sure I'm in frame here. Okay. Da-dum, 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 da-dum. Okay, that is back. So I've got my nut setter. No, I don't need that yet. I need a screwdriver and the posts. So looking at it from the back, this way around, the posts were open to the right. So that goes there. Get the screw in there quickly. No. A screw, please. That's nice. These little brackets have got little notches, and the PCB has got holes in, so they can only go one way, and you can't get them upside down either, because the bottom side has got 2 notches and the top side's got 1. So yeah, very cleverly thought out. Okay, and then the last post, 2 down. Yep, there we go. Once it's in, then you can feel it sits really nice, fits really nicely. While I'm busy here, I just wanted to talk about the very lavish IPA wash which I gave yesterday, because I know people think that was a bit excessive. That wasn't only to get rid of gunk, but IPA being 99% alcohol evaporates very quickly. So any water that was left on the board would pretty much mix with the IPA, and it would still be a high enough alcohol concentration for it to evaporate nice and quickly. So by giving it a really thorough IPA wash, you are just making extra sure that there's, you know, no water trapped anywhere. Yeah, so that's why I used so much more for the water removal rather than for cleaning, because the soapy water did a good enough job. Okay, so our main board is in. I need to get that ribbon cable back in. What goes first? Probably first the little coax board. So let's get you in, and your screw was separate, so there we go. Get you in. Oh, I've got my tower fired up. It's got the drivers installed. This is Firewire, so the joys of having to install drivers before you dare actually install the device. Okay, now if I remember correctly, the silvery one was to my left, so we'll get you back on. Silvery one to my left. And also, as far as I know, Firewire is, unlike USB, I don't think it's hot swappable. I think you've got to switch your machine on and off if you remove or add devices. Yeah. Obviously, needless to say, Firewire has now become obsolete. It's been surpassed by USB 3.1 and Thunderbolt. So, okay. Good. All in. No injuries. Still got all my fingers and no blood. Okay, get those 3 top screws. Really hoping that this works because it cleaned up so nicely. Cleaned up so nicely. Yep, you are one. Okay. And the last one. Okay. So all my posts were in the right position. Okay, so that's all good. Okay, what is next? Top panel. Top panel does have a few minor scratches which aren't going to come out, but so be it. Okay, now you need to line up carefully. Are we all in frame? Yeah. Oh, these are a bit odd. They don't seem to want to. Ah, there we go. Okay, and there is these 3 little black ones. And okay. Oops, slipped. That was not good. No damage, luckily. Okay, 1 in. In and 3 in. Now I won't be able to test all the functionality. I'm basically looking for 2 things today. That it talks to its software, because that will pretty much let us know that it's kind of all working, and then we'll just check for basic audio playback. But things like the digital, I'll test it another time. Okay, so this has really cleaned up very nicely. It looks, apart from the few scratches to the top, it is virtually like new. Okay, so these are the 2mm hex screws, 1 in each corner. Okay, so that's all back together. Let's get, so I won't be testing optical today, so we can put these back in. get rid of my screw dish. Get your knobs on. Are these all the same? No, one is different. So those two, this one is the different one. Okay, and to get these lined up now. It's also cheaply made. That's the problem these days. Okay, so these, are we getting, yeah, no scratches. Everything is lined up. Get you on. Okay, yeah, this is a rotary encoder, so that doesn't have an indicator notch because it just turns and turns, whereas all the others have min-max. Here. No, still not. Come on. There we go. Okay, which side is min? Don't know. And yeah. Oh, good. Okay, so now let me just look, and these must all be down to minimum. Okay. Feet are all in right place. This I can take off at some other stage. I'm glad that the main sticker is still intact, but I didn't quite get all the coffee off the bottom, but that just needs a wipe down. Yeah, so there we are. Okay, let us power it up and cross all our fingers and toes. Let me put it here. Huh. So let me put that there. Okay, not going to touch it. And we switch on. Ah, okay. There we go. The blue flashing LED. Perfect. Okay. So that tells me, okay, well, it's working. It is working. Now let us get it hooked up via Firewire and see if it talks to the software. Okay, so switch off there. Just gonna have to shut down here. Where's the on off? Okay, you're long enough. That is not very long at all. Okay. So we'll move you here. Firewire. No, this is not the right cable. Okay. That is the right cable. Firewire. Okay. I assume that is port 1. Okay, power. Okay, now let's see what it does. Flashing. I'm not sure when it finds the host, if it does that hardware, or if it actually has to do that in Windows. We'll see now. Okay, so I'll leave that to boot. do we have? I've got no outputs on the back. Okay, it's found it. Cannot install this hardware. Why not? Why not? Bootloader. Really? I thought I had put the drivers on. Okay, might have to take a break and go and audio. I think I put the drivers onto the wrong computer. Okay. Apologies. I will be right back. So let us let's disconnect this. So onboard graphics, IRQ conflict, seems, maybe. Maybe. Is this on? In audio control. Okay. Now I need to actually see what I'm doing. And I want okay, so as I turn the main volume knob on the sound card, we can see that the software, or the control panel at least, is picking that up. So I'm happy that the Firewire is talking to the device correctly. We're still getting odd spikes on the output. Is to plug some headphones into the headphone jack. This is a bit worrying. Okay, but we'll see. Let's see what it does on playback. So if I go to my computer, is it my documents, my music, sample music, Beethoven's Ninth, okay. Okay. Okay, so I'm getting nice clean audio out. problem seems to have disappeared. Okay. Okay, so let's get this volume as high as it will go. So you should hopefully be able to hear there on my mic. Okay. So I think I'm going to leave it there. It needs probably a bit more attention. Double check or just check for if that whatever's spiking on the line input, if that's continued, or if it was just a bit of dirt or something left over on the connector. It seems to have stopped. It seems to have stopped. Phantom power works. Got audio out. Yeah, so I'm happy with how that's turned out. We've got it powered up, albeit via an external power source. We'll sort out the Firewire power now that at least I know that it's working. We know the Firewire is working. It's talking to the PC. It's talking to its control panel software, which is all good. The PC is able to talk to the sound card because we're getting playback, which is good. The volume's working, which is good. Phantom power's working. Well, at least the lights are indicating it's working. So everything's looking like it's moving in the right direction. It's just that odd blip on the one line in or mic in. So I'll have to open that up again and just have a look and see if there's any dirt or something that's putting something onto there. Okay. So, albeit a bit of a long effort and PC troubleshooting in between, we did get there in the end. And well, one more device fixed is one more device that doesn't go into landfill or into e-waste. And if the line ends on this work nicely, then it will be really useful for radio videos. Because I've got a similar device upstairs on my main machine. But yeah, for down here for filming, it will be great. And we've somehow managed to get this machine stable as well, which is added bonus. Okay, lovely. Thanks for joining me. If you enjoyed that, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you next time. Cheers then.